Welcome to the Insurance Brokers Podcast, Helpful Hints. Here we break down the best, most informative bits of our full-length interviews.
I would really be interested. I think a good place to start would be if you guys can tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing over the last year. I know a lot of work has gone into developing a platform that you've just recently launched, and I think it'd be really good to hear all about it.
So Modus, when it was formed 5 years ago, the whole aim was to build as much automation into the journey for the underwriting for brokers to make it quicker and easier for them to trade. During our time of doing that, we realised that there were so many constraints with question sets, and then speaking with brokers, we conducted quite a bit of research and said to them, to make something worthwhile online, what makes you want to trade with someone, and what are your frustrations? So what was coming out loud and clear was the fact that all online platforms seem to have really lengthy question sets, and they'd get all the way to the end of them, and then they'd find out it was either a decline or it would be a reverse. There'd be a break in the buying journey, so additional costs, they'd often lose the sale, that kind of thing. So what they were saying was that if it's going to be a no, they'd like to know really quickly. They just would want someone to come back to them instantly so they can deal with that kind of risk that way. Also, the fact that once something did take off and it was online and they knew what the appetite was, it was almost so the insurance provider became anonymous. So they lost the relationship side of it. So looking at that, our aim was basically to deliver a property trading platform with a minimum amount of questions, with the widest underwriting capture to write the most risks. So that was what we did whilst maintaining relationships. So that was where we started. Giles, being one of the architects of the platform, is probably good around where we started next and what we did.
Yeah, so literally we started from scratch. With the underwriting capacity that we had, we decided on a question set we wanted to ask for each of our products. That was our sort of starting point. And from there, we built around that the specifications for the rules and the rates, and the automation for each of those. And then from that, I guess the end point was what the front end looked like to the user, to make it as user friendly as possible, so that they could get a quote and they could buy it and they could get all their documentation as easy as possible, which makes it sound very easy, but obviously, yeah, it's been quite a large work in the process.